I'm Christopher Green. This is Green Wave Radio Live. Thank you for tuning in today. It is, of course, May 28th, 2013, working on getting our Google Hangouts set up. They're constantly changing this technology around, making it very difficult for the liberty movement to get the message out of truth and freedom. I want to say I hope everybody had a very memorable Memorial Day yesterday, that you took the time to remember those that have laid down their lives, their bloodlines, their livelihoods, everything, given up everything, so that I could have the opportunity to exercise my First, Second Amendment, our constitutional rights here on the show today, that you could have your freedom of speech, your right to self-defense, and that we have this great constitutional republic in the first place. And albeit we are fighting against some very aggressive tyranny, we have great challenges and obstacles ahead of us. And of course, we take that. I take that cynical perspective on a daily basis. And I'm very cutthroat in terms of digesting and relaying the news, the real truth, to you, the people, not just in America, but to those of you tuning in around the world. And it's important we continue to do that. But it's also important that we continue to recognize those that have sacrificed, those that came before us. You know, you think of everything that this country has been through. You think of the journey and the challenge and the great unknown of it all. When we came over, they came over on these ships, on these boats. They had no idea if the world was flat or round. And they were willing to step into the unknown, which is the scariest, most frightening thing for people to do. And you can probably look at that even in your own life or amongst your friends and family, stepping into the unknown. You know, it's why many people are very fearful, and for some people, their greatest fear is death, because it's the ultimate unknown. It's the ultimate loss of control. What happens after that? You know, what happens when I don't have or you don't have control over your own body? And of course, we are engaged in a spiritual war. We're engaged in spiritual warfare today, but it is so important that we give thanks. And I know I certainly did with my family and friends, not just for the time to spend, to relax and have a little R&R, but to reflect and really remember what this country is all about and what it stands for. But the question that we need to fundamentally ask, not just our soldiers overseas fighting and dying in Iraq and Afghanistan, having their legs and arms blown off, but us here in the States. And, you know, people were kind of joking, hey, what did you do on Memorial Day? And there was a few people tweeting within the blogosphere, a very popular actress with this new HBO series, Girls. I don't know if any of you have heard of that. But she tweeted something along the lines, and this was mainstream news, that said, hey, happy Memorial today, everybody. Happy Memorial Day. I'm at my second Starbucks. And it just kind of got me thinking a little bit. You know, it really is so true. You know, here we are. We're supposed to be remembering people losing their lives. I mean, literally sacrificing everything that they are so that we can have the luxury to go to Starbucks and have our cappuccinos and lattes and frappuccinos and whatever that may be. You know, we live such a almost irrational and disconnected lifestyle from what is being faced on a daily basis by our fellow man. Not just American soldiers, but soldiers all around the world in life and death situations, literally bullets whizzing by their head, their faces, with the threat of death on a constant, continual basis. While, you know, the most of America, not that there's anything wrong with having a cup of coffee, but, you know, just doesn't really connect and can't really identify with what that is like. And it just makes you think. And it makes you wonder, you know, what does America stand for? You know, because we have built such a consumerist, consumer-based society that it sometimes remains unclear what it is this place is even about. I mean, what did these people die for? So we could get our frappuccinos at Starbucks, and, you know, every soccer mom in America can buy that, you know, SUV, and we can all drive our Escalades around, you know, diamond rings, fast cars, and gold chains. Is that what we're about? Is that the testament to America? Is that why we fought the first American Revolutionary War and won? Is that why we engaged in World War I and World War II and stopped with the intent to stop dictators and dictatorships from rising overseas? Is that the reason that we're dying in the Middle East today? You know, and that's the question that a lot of soldiers just really don't know. And unfortunately, a lot of them very poor, broke, have no other options, want to see the world. And so they do what many people before them have done, and they enlist, or they join the military, or they join the army, or they join the Navy. And the next thing they know, they're stepping on IEDs. And the question is, for what? Why? Why step on an IED? Why are they risking their lives? You know, they're sold the idea that they're fighting, you know, for freedom and fighting for liberty and, you know, somehow protecting the world. When you start to dig into the real reasons, you find we're just there for oil. We're just there for blood money or some kind of political score or economic or financial need. You know, some kind of reason that really has no real sentimental or real cognitive value. You know, and it just makes you wonder. And it's not that I don't understand those real reasons, but I want people to think. You know, we should be thinking as a thinking human being, somebody that can make decisions for themselves. You know, we're entering this world now, this Google monopoly that I'm very much a part of. I mean, take a look at YouTube, for example. Google dominates the world. Don't know something? Need an answer? Need an education? Google it. It's its own verb. It's this multi-billion-dollar company with, you know, roots and, you know, with the presidency and the White House and big business and Capitol Hill. I mean, this is the greatest invention in our lifetime. You know, these devices and this technology. But where is it all headed? Where is it all headed, America? A totalitarian police state of control? This control grid where we're all going to wear these Google glasses over our faces and be mesmerized and disguised and just, how do you even interact with the real world anymore? When you've got a constant overlay over your retina going, hey, it's Google, check this out. Yeah, you're 5 miles from your destination. Stop at this bar and buy a beer. Get this product. You know, advertisements, inserts, etc., fueling the American credit lubed up, gang-banged machine. You know, lube it up, baby. Get your jar of Vaseline out. Keep this easy credit pumping. 0% interest rates. Can't let that fall off. The minute we move away from a pick-your-payment plan here in America without massive mortgages and car payments and credit card debt, God knows what we would do. This fake economic engine would come to a grinding halt before I could snap my friggin' fingers. So is that what we represent? Fast cars, gold chains, and diamond rings? Is that what America is about? 0% interest rates? Get as much as you can, lever yourself up to infinity. Operate like the hedge funds, baby. 12-to-1 leverage. 2-to-1 isn't enough. How about 12-to-1? How about 20-to-1? How about infinity-to-1? Just print this shit out of thin air, Ben Bernanke. You rat about to leave the nest along with the likes of Timothy Geithner. A guy wasn't even paying his taxes a few years ago, and we don't even question who these people are. It's like, oh yeah, Timmy, little Timmy boy, why don't you take one of the most powerful positions in the world, tax evader? You know, and you know, we face jail time. We face federal prison if we were to consider that. Take a look at the scandals. Take a look at the IRS and Benghazi Gate and the wiretapping of the Associated Press in this clear and present attack on freedom of speech. You didn't think they were just coming after the guns, did ya? They're coming after a lot more than that. The totalitarian police state, courtesy of yours truly, President Barack Obama, racial divider, gonna play and use the black card as long as he can, as big as he can, and when he's finished with that, he's gonna use the gay card. He's gonna play those social issues so big and so severe, you'll have a giant dildo up your ass, America, and you're gonna love it. You're gonna like every second and every inch of that dildo as he jams it up through your intestinal tract. Don't like it? Well, tough beans. Tough luck. This is what Obamacare looks like. Ugh. This is what gun control looks like. Ugh. This is what all this looks like. Clear and present tyranny. You know, I'm happy that I still have my First Amendment. I'm happy that I still have my Second Amendment. I'll protect it with everything and all that we're worth. That's what the American people need to be talking about. That's what the American people need to be focused on, but we can't. We can't fall into the trap of this disease, of this machine, of these prime manipulators. Say one thing and do the other. Hi, I'm President Barack Obama and I believe in freedom. Right after he says that, he murders Muammar Gaddafi, drone strikes a village and killing dozens of innocent children in Syria and God knows where else, as he does his best to stomp out the Second Amendment, light his match, pour a little gasoline over it, pay himself a visit to Gitmo to shove that baseball bat right back up that ass. Won't give these people a trial. This is Christopher Dorner style. This is what it's about. This is where we are in America. You know, spread the word, everybody. We're fighting in the Middle East right now to preserve freedom. Yeah, right. More like to preserve ourselves. More like to cash in on the money train. Don't let the rest of the world take over. Don't let China, don't let India, don't let Russia win this battle, even though we've driven ourselves into insolvency. Take a look at companies that Obama's backed by the White House. He's personally backed, like Solyndra. How are those companies doing? Well, they're bankrupt. They don't even exist anymore. Take a look at the banking system. Bankrupt. Wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for our trillions of dollars worth of bailouts. Oil in their greedy hands. You know, we should just pour the black oil all over these people and tar and feather them and see how they like it. That's where we are in America today, and it isn't a pretty sight. I want to thank our sponsor today of today's show, Big Berkey Water Filters. Removes chlorine, reduces fluoride, retains healthy minerals. Please visit them at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com. Pay them a visit, buy one of their water filters, support liberty, and support this underground grassroots economy of freedom. You know, it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. We see how this movement is growing. We see how it's coming to fruition. We see the divisiveness. We see the anger. We see how states are splitting from the union. We see this manifesting itself, but again, we can't step into the trap. We see the cheese. It's like a rat, like, hey, that looks pretty good over there, a little Swiss cheese. And the minute you put your little finger on it, bam, you're dead. And that's exactly what this machine wants. That's exactly what the establishment is doing. They're luring us. They're trying to lure the freedom and liberty movement. They're trying to have, they're trying to manipulate public perception. They're trying to make you the crackpot, the lunatic, the tinfoil hat wearer, when it couldn't be anything from the truth. You're telling me that being a constitutionalist and valuing and loving your country and freedom and, protecting your ability to bear arms and all these things is a radical thought process? Is a radical idea? You've got to be kidding me. The only thing radical, the only thing extreme are these policies coming out of the White House. Is this forced Obamacare that is resulting in massive unemployment? I've already seen this. I've seen the letters. We've posted them on our Facebook accounts. Can't work any more than 30 hours, it says, or 35 hours. You got to go down to part-time because we can't afford you. Is that what the Jobs Act is supposed to look like? Is this the gigantic benefit Obama's given the poor? Encouraging the downsizing of millions of Americans across the board because small and big business simply can't afford these massive social programs paid for by you and me? How much more are we going to be taxed? How much more are they going to take? How many more bailouts are they going to steal from us? Tip us upside down, shake us by the legs, take everything they can, strip us of our clothes? Is that what America is about? Is that what we represent? Are we just a latte, cappuccino, frappuccino, sucking, sipping bunch of people that really don't care about anything but ourselves? Is that where we are in America today? Is that the American value system? Is that the American dream? The car you drive, the house you live in, the size of your mortgage payment to the man? These are all very important questions. I'm Christopher Green. Stay tuned. We have a very hard-hitting show today. I'll be right back.